It was recently revealed to me that the fine folks over at Roadie Game Gear were aware of the not so favorable things I'd been saying about the Ion Pro upgrade kit. You know, the DD502 brain module and kick drum pad and cymbals. So you'll find in the next few days a review posted by Cena of the Ion Pro upgrade kit, and not by me, but Bobby over at New England Music Supply somehow convinced Roadie Game Gear that I would be a great candidate for reviewing the Roadie Kick Rocker. Is he a glutton for punishment or a brilliant businessman? We shall find out. So for review, Roadie Game Gear has sent me a Roadie Kick Rocker for Guitar Hero World Tour drum sets. You can see on the box, it says it includes the kick drum, the pedal with the beater. The box they sent me does not have the pedal or the beater, it just has the trigger pad. And that's fine, I'll be using my own pedal. You'll see it does not include a drum key or an instruction manual, which will come into play in a few minutes. And for those of you who have seen my other videos, you know that I also own a Roland KD-8 and Yamaha KP65 kick trigger pads. Now, I'm not going to mention those anymore in this review. I'm going to give this trigger pad a review on its own merits. This will not be a comparison of this one to the other two. This will simply be a review of this one on its own. Its sensitivity, its volume, quality of construction, etc. Just the Roadie Kick Rocker. And since I will not be using their pedal, what came in my box was the kick trigger pad and the legs for the kick trigger pad. Pretty simple design, straight post. Here's where your kick pedal clips onto the post. On the back, you've got your carpet screws here. They're relatively simple. You screw to make this go deeper into the carpet, unscrew to make it go shallower. Has a good Velcro strip here, so when you stand up on the carpet, it attaches pretty good. And then on the back are your assembly screws for attaching the legs. Now, I said this doesn't come with an instruction manual, and there is some assembly required, as you can see. So it's pretty simple if just to look at it, but I will go through the assembly. You will need a drum key, which you can get at any music store for a couple of bucks. You have to remove these two screws here, and then the legs slide in. The legs have a hole in the top. Leg slides in here, screw goes down through the hole, and screws back in. They're really long screws, so I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me unscrew the whole thing. I will speed it up. So once you have the legs in, make sure these are nice and tight. Pad stands like so. Now there is one other thing I forgot to mention that was not included, not listed on the box, but it is included in the box, is the cable that you need to plug the kick rocker in to your Guitar Hero World Tour drum set. It has a 1/8 inch mono plug on one end, that plugs into your World Tour drums, and it has a 1/4 inch mono plug on the other end. This plugs into your kick rocker. Plug is right there. Plugs in right there. We'll talk a little bit about the construction of this. This is mostly metal. I don't know what kind of metal, I'd imagine aluminum or something. It does have some plastic on it in the back here. This part of the shell is plastic. You do have an aluminum plate on the back that the screws go into that attach to the legs. The hoop here is metal. The screws, of course, are metal. The shell underneath here is metal. And of course the base is entirely metal. The drum head is a standard 8-inch Mylar drum head. Now I know a lot of people freak out when they hear, oh my god, it's Mylar, it's going to be loud. And we'll get to the volume of this later, but the good thing about that is that all you have to do is remove these 4 screws across the face of it here, these 4 screws, and you can take that Mylar head off and replace it with any other standard 8-inch drum head. Whether it's a mesh, Roland MH8 or Pintec 8-inch mesh head, or even a Pearl muffle head. If you want to replace it with mesh, you can quiet it down that way. But any standard 8-inch drum head will work. And also remember that regular acoustic drum heads, Remo, Aquarian, Evans, those are all made out of Mylar too. So now I'll demonstrate a little bit of how you go about attaching a pedal to this thing. Like I said, I'm using my own pedals here, not the pedal that comes with the Kick Rocker. So what you get in the box is not going to be the same pedal as what I'm using here. So first I'll show with a single pedal. Got a Pearl Eliminator 2000C, the red cam on it. So it's pretty simple here. Pedal clamps on right here, just like with any other practice pad or kick trigger. Got your hoop clamp here. Lift the pedal up, slide the clamp on, make sure the beater is where you're going to want it to be, and tighten. Then pedal and trigger move together. You're stable. Both move around together. And that's how that goes together. To remove, first the process. Unscrew, lift, and pull. Very simple. Alright, so now I'm going to do the same thing except using a set of double pedals, because it's slightly different when you attach these. Using my Yamaha Flying Dragon pedals. But the process is pretty much the same. Hoop clamp, lift the trigger, attach the pedal. Now before you clamp it, you want to make sure that your beaters are hitting not in the center like when you have a single beater, but right on either side of the center, about as close to it as you can get. Once you got it set where you want it, then you clamp it down. So then you press your pedals. Your beaters are close to the middle, but not in the middle, because your sensor is right dead center of this pad. So your next question is probably, well, how the heck do I hook this thing up? Well, if you have a Guitar Hero World Tour drum set, you're probably familiar with this. This is the central control module. It's been removed for the purposes of this video. You can see mine is connected to my Xbox right now. On the back, you got your ports here for connecting your kick drum. I've got the MIDI port moved onto this box. This might actually be different when this is actually attached, but for the purposes of this video, that's where the purple kick drum port is, as you can see here. Our cable, you plug into the back of the Kick Rocker right here. The other end of this cable plugs into the purple port on the back of your World Tour drums. And we're ready to go. I'm sure some of you are asking yourselves right now, well, can I plug this thing straight into my Rock Band drums like that, or my Ion drums? And the answer to that is unfortunately no. The sensor in this is a piezo transducer, which sends out a varying voltage signal. Unfortunately, the Rock Band and the Ion drums require just a simple on-off signal to register a kick. So in order to use this with the Rock Band or the Ion drums, you will need a kickbox, or a kickbox, or a kickbox. But we'll get into those in another video.
Why should I cry? Just so you can